Welcome back to Quiz Koala. Brace yourself for 100 general knowledge questions. How many can you answer correctly? Let's begin. What food was found buried with Egyptian pharaoh Tutankhamun? Honey, bread, or dates? Bread was found in Tutankhamun's tomb. Which of these people are not on the cover of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band? Bob Dylan, Elton John, or Marilyn Monroe? Elton John is not on the album cover. What was the title of Jimi Hendrix's debut album? Are You Experienced, Axis, Bold as Love, or Electric Ladyland? Are You Experienced was Hendrix's debut album. On which TV channel did Men Behaving Badly first air? BBC One, Channel 4, or ITV? Men Behaving Badly first aired on ITV. Has Wolverine ever borrowed an Iron Man suit? Never, yes he has, or only in fan fiction? Yes, Wolverine has borrowed an Iron Man suit in the comics. Who developed the Suez Canal? Ferdinand de Lesseps, Ismail Pasha, or Napoleon Bonaparte? The Suez Canal was developed by Ferdinand de Lesseps. Who were King Edward VI's parents? King Henry VII and Elizabeth of York, King Edward IV and Elizabeth Woodville, or King Henry VIII and Jane Seymour? Edward VI's parents were Henry VIII and Jane Seymour. How fast can F1 cars travel while qualifying for a race? Up to 200 miles per hour, more than 200 miles per hour, or less than 200 miles per hour? F1 cars can exceed 200 miles per hour during qualifying. In which direction does the Nile River flow? South to north, north to south, or east to west? The Nile flows from south to north. In which year did Iceland become an independent republic? 1918, 1944, or 1968? Iceland became independent in 1944. Is Aconcagua the highest peak in South America? Yes, no, or it's the second highest? Yes, Aconcagua is South America's highest peak. With which group is Melanie Klein's therapy primarily associated? Elderly, adults, or children? Klein's therapy is primarily associated with children. What happens to gases when they are cooled? Do they expand, remain unchanged, or contract? Gases contract when cooled. Where do king penguins incubate their eggs? In nests, on their feet, or under rocks? King penguins incubate their eggs on their feet. How does a chinchilla keep its fine fur clean? It grooms itself, it takes dust baths, or it swims in water. Chinchillas take dust baths to clean their fur. What type of animal is a dik-dik? A bird, reptile, or small antelope? A dik-dik is a small antelope. How long is the Grand Canal in Venice? Less than 4 kilometers, about 4 kilometers, or more than 4 kilometers? The Grand Canal is less than 4 kilometers long. Where was the artist Tracey Emin born? London, Brighton, or Croydon? Tracey Emin was born in Croydon. Which Jane Austen character did Gwyneth Paltrow play in a 1996 film adaptation? Emma Woodhouse, Elizabeth Bennet, or Anne Elliot? Paltrow played Emma Woodhouse. What two major injuries did Admiral Nelson receive during his career? Did he lose his leg and arm, right eye and right arm, or left eye and left arm? Nelson lost his right eye and right arm. In which year did Tracy Emin create My Bed? 1995, 1997, or 1998? Emin created My Bed in 1998. What is the correct name for the chisel-like front teeth of rodents and other mammals? Canines, incisors, or molars? The chisel-like front teeth are called incisors. Which London airport is known for its 24 kilometers of baggage conveyor belts? Gatwick, Heathrow, or Stansted? Heathrow Airport has 24 kilometers of baggage conveyor belts. Which is the best kind of place to grow herbs? Hot and sunny, cool and shady, or damp and dark? Hot and sunny conditions are ideal for growing most herbs. Which thin sausage first appeared in a French recipe in 1903? Merguez, chipolata, or andouillette? Chipolata first appeared in a French recipe in 1903. Who designed the Rolling Stones' famous lips and tongue logo? Andy Warhol, Keith Richards, or John Pash? John Pash designed the iconic Rolling Stones logo. What is the subject of the Cars song Drive? A road trip, a breakup, or a car accident? The song Drive is about losing a girlfriend in a car accident. Which drama about a musician won Geoffrey Rush a Best Actor Oscar? Shine, Amadeus, or Ray? Geoffrey Rush won Best Actor for his role in Shine. How long was the average gladiator fight thought to have lasted? 20 minutes, 1 hour, or 5 minutes? The average gladiator fight was thought to last about 20 minutes. What shape are Christian churches and cathedrals traditionally designed in? Circle, square, or cross? Christian churches are traditionally designed in the shape of a cross. Who has won the most golf majors? Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, or Arnold Palmer? Jack Nicklaus has won the most golf majors. What is a tsunami sometimes incorrectly called? A tidal wave, a storm surge, or a rogue wave? A tsunami is sometimes incorrectly called a tidal wave. Which planet's name is the Roman version of the Greek god Cronus? Jupiter, Saturn, or Mars? Saturn is named after the Roman version of Cronus. What was the great war horse of the Middle Ages called? Destrier, palfrey, or courser? The great war horse of the Middle Ages was called a destrier. Can the viperfish close its mouth despite its long teeth? Yes, no, or only partially? Yes, the viperfish can close its mouth despite its long teeth. In what year did the first hotel chocolate shop open? 1998, 2001, or 2004? The first hotel chocolate shop opened in 2004. Who wrote the novel Another Country, set in 1950s Harlem and Greenwich Village? James Baldwin, Toni Morrison, or Ralph Ellison? James Baldwin wrote Another Country. Which Pevensey child is the oldest in the Chronicles of Narnia? Peter, Susan, or Edmund? Peter is the oldest of the Pevensey children. What type of ship was the Exxon Valdez? An oil tanker, a cruise ship, or a cargo vessel? The Exxon Valdez was an oil tanker. Roquefort is a blue cheese from which country? Italy, Spain, or France? Roquefort is a blue cheese from France. Which novelist wrote The Life of Charlotte Bronte? Jane Austen, George Eliot, or Elizabeth Gaskell? Elizabeth Gaskell wrote The Life of Charlotte Bronte. What were the R-101, the Hindenburg, and the Graf Zeppelin? Airships, ocean liners, or locomotives? The R-101, Hindenburg, and Graf Zeppelin were all airships. Which British director was responsible for Brief Encounter in 1945? Alfred Hitchcock, David Lean, or Carol Reed? David Lean directed Brief Encounter in 1945. Which girl band sang Viva Forever? Destiny's Child, the Spice Girls, or TLC? The Spice Girls sang Viva Forever. What is the name of 50 Cent's band? D12, G-Unit, or Wu-Tang Clan? 50 Cent's band is G-Unit. What term is used to describe a river of ice flowing from snow-capped mountains? Iceberg, avalanche, or glacier? A glacier is a river of ice flowing from snow-capped mountains. Why are flamingos pink? Genetic mutation, sun exposure, or their diet of shrimp? Flamingos are pink due to their diet of shrimp. In the U.S., where is the shoofly pie most common? New England, Texas, or Pennsylvania and the surrounding area? Shoofly pie is most common in Pennsylvania and the surrounding area. Who plays Jack Carter in Get Carter? Sean Connery, Michael Caine, or Roger Moore? Michael Caine plays Jack Carter in Get Carter. Which ocean was explored and settled by Polynesian navigators from around 1000 BCE? The Atlantic, the Indian, or the Pacific? The Pacific Ocean was explored and settled by Polynesian navigators. What name is given to the legendary pipeline break off Oahu? Waimea, bonsai, or pipeline? The legendary pipeline break off Oahu is called bonsai. Most modern rackets are made of what? Aluminum, carbon, or titanium? Most modern rackets are made of carbon. Which term refers to a language used by people whose native languages are mutually incomprehensible? Pidgin, Creole, or lingua franca? A lingua franca is used when native languages are mutually incomprehensible. Which steam train made the world's longest non-stop run? Orient Express, Flying Scotsman, or Trans-Siberian Express? The Flying Scotsman made the world's longest non-stop run. Which ape has shown the greatest aptitude for learning sign language? Bonobo chimpanzee, gorilla, or orangutan? The bonobo chimpanzee has shown the greatest aptitude for sign language. What kind of Australian scorpion is often found in houses? Desert, the marbled, or rainforest? The marbled scorpion is often found in Australian houses. How do stars produce energy? Chemical reactions, by nuclear fusion, or radioactive decay? Stars produce energy by nuclear fusion. Which ancient culture invented the stone wheel, a vital aid to transportation? Egyptians, Mesopotamians, or Greeks? The Mesopotamians invented the stone wheel. Where is the Picasso Museum? Paris, Madrid, or Barcelona? The Picasso Museum is in Barcelona. In which era is Boardwalk Empire set? Prohibition era, Civil War era, or Great Depression era? Boardwalk Empire is set during the Prohibition era. When did Pelé first win the World Cup? At age 15, 17, or 19? Pelé first won the World Cup at age 17. Who made the first non-stop flight across the Atlantic in a Vickers-Vimy bomber in 1919? Charles Lindbergh, Amelia Earhart, or Alcock and Brown? Alcock and Brown made the first non-stop transatlantic flight in 1919. Who holds the record for the most home runs hit in a single MLB season? Babe Ruth, Barry Bonds, or Roger Maris? Barry Bonds holds the record for most home runs in a single season. Which company was Pixar originally a part of before becoming independent? Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or DreamWorks? Pixar was originally part of Lucasfilm Ltd. During which period did William Shakespeare live? Tudor period, Stuart period, or Elizabethan era? William Shakespeare lived during the Elizabethan era. Where did guacamole originate? Spain, Peru, or Mexico? Guacamole originated in Mexico. Which rock band performed the surf anthem Wipe Out? The Beach Boys, Dick Dale and his Deltones, or the Surfaris? The Surfaris performed Wipe Out. What was the name of Roy Rogers' famous horse? Trigger, Silver, or Champion? Roy Rogers' famous horse was named Trigger. Which pharaoh commissioned the Great Pyramid? Khufu, Ramses II, or Tutankhamun? Khufu commissioned the Great Pyramid. Which is the longest mountain range in the world? Mid-Atlantic Ridge, Andes, or Himalayas? The Mid-Atlantic Ridge is the longest mountain range. What happened to the 3 lunar roving vehicles taken to the moon by the US? Are they still there, were they brought back, or did they disintegrate? The lunar roving vehicles are still on the moon. Which type of animal is exclusively found in Australia? Monotremes, marsupials, or placentals? Marsupials are exclusively found in Australia. What does a snapping turtle do to attract prey? Makes a clicking sound, wiggles its pink tongue, or flashes its eyes? A snapping turtle wiggles its pink tongue to attract prey. Which African animal has no sweat glands and needs water or mud to cool down? Zebra, lion, or hippopotamus? The hippopotamus needs water or mud to cool down. Which contemporary artist designed the cover for the December 1985 issue of French Vogue? David Hockney, Andy Warhol, or Roy Lichtenstein? David Hockney designed the cover. How many drawings and oil sketches did Seurat make of the scene at La Grande Jatte? At least 50, 70, or 90? Seurat made at least 70 drawings and oil sketches. Where did Rear Admiral Sandy Woodward lead a British task force in 1982? The Suez Canal, the Falkland Islands, or the Persian Gulf? Woodward led a task force to the Falkland Islands. Who invented the self-propelled torpedo? Robert Whitehead, John Ericsson, or Hiram Maxim? Robert Whitehead invented the self-propelled torpedo. Which artist famously damaged his ear? Pablo Picasso, Claude Monet, or Vincent van Gogh? Vincent van Gogh famously damaged his ear. In Greek mythology, who appeals to her husband Pluto to grant Orpheus's prayers? Persephone, Proserpina, or Eurydice? Proserpina appeals to Pluto in this myth. is the villain in the James Bond film The Spy Who Loved Me? Ernst Stavro Blofeld, Karl Stromberg, or Francisco Scaramanga? Karl Stromberg is the villain in this Bond film. Approximately how many African American men enlisted in the Union Army? 100,000, 500,000, or 186,000? About 186,000 African American men enlisted. In which sport do competitors refer to catching a crab? Rowing, fishing, or sailing? In rowing, competitors refer to catching a crab. Who was England's first professional cricket captain? Joe Root, Mithali Raj, or Michael Vaughan? Mithali Raj was England's first professional captain. On which day does Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol begin? Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, or Christmas Eve? The book begins on Christmas Eve. Is it safe to eat shellfish that smells strongly of ammonia? No, yes, or only if cooked thoroughly? No, it's not safe to eat. What was the avocado called when introduced to the U.S.? Alligator pear, green egg, or forest butter? It was called the alligator pear. Who created The Barber of Seville? Mozart, Verdi, or Rossini? Rossini created The Barber of Seville. How many nations make up the United Kingdom? 4, 3, or 5? The United Kingdom is made up of 4 nations. Which Italian car was featured in the Miami Vice TV series? Lamborghini, Ferrari, or Maserati? The featured car was a Ferrari. What color jacket does the winner of the U.S. Masters wear? Red, green, or blue? The winner wears a green jacket. What is the primary source of Earth's energy and all the energy in the solar system? The sun, geothermal energy, or nuclear fusion? The sun is the primary source of energy. From which European country did the conquistadors come? Portugal, Italy, or Spain? The conquistadors came from Spain. What type of animal is a duck-billed platypus? Marsupial, semi-aquatic, or rodent? A duck-billed platypus is a semi-aquatic animal. During which Roman ceremonies were the first gladiator fights believed to have been held? Funerals, weddings, or coronations? Gladiator fights were first held during funerals. How many years does it take for Sully to be promoted from trainee scarer to scarer? 2, 5, or 10 years? It takes Sully 2 years to be promoted. Who was Adolf Hitler's favorite composer? Wagner, Mozart, or Beethoven? Hitler's favorite composer was Wagner. How many stars did the Burj Al Arab Hotel in Dubai award itself? 5, 7, or 9? The Burj Al Arab awarded itself 7 stars. What is a language spoken in Northern Holland that has a low German dialect, but is considered closer to English than any other language? Dutch, Flemish, or Frisian? The language is Frisian. Which Renaissance artist painted the Lamentation of Christ on the wall of the Scrovegni Chapel? Giotto, Michelangelo, or Leonardo da Vinci? The artist was Giotto. Write your score in the comments and select your next challenge.